Good afternoon, Eric. Good afternoon, breadheads. Welcome to another episode of Think Fresh, a podcast about Subway.
Bring yet another expensive episode of the most expensive podcast on the Spotify servers. How are you doing?
Yeah, the Spotify XX gave us a very liberal budget to record this podcast. We're burning through it faster than a Silicon Valley startup.
Exactly. They've been sending Ty a whole bunch of equipment. First they sent him a microphone. Then they sent him a Herman Miller Aeron chair. Then you got the Hermes ashtray. I don't know. You don't smoke, so I'm not sure why they sent that to you.
Podcasting is a stressful gig, Eric.
Did they send you anything else, Ty?
Well, I am recording right now on the iPhone 13-inch Pro.
Yes. Is that a Pro Max or is it just a Pro?
This is the Pro Classic, the Pro Min. What do you call the regular one? The footlong.
I guess it's the footlong. Yours is a 6-inch phone. Mine's the footlong, bro. Mine's the Max.
Because the footlong is the norm. You're getting the footlong when you get the Max.
I'm getting a Big Sean size.
You're getting a Big Sean size, yeah. See, I am getting the footlong. A 6-inch would be any of those broke boy iPhones, the SEs or the minis or the so on and so forth, or perhaps even an Android device.
You're absolutely correct. I'm so sorry to have offended you like that.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. But yes, I am recording this on a 13 Pro, brand new. I unboxed it last night. How do I sound?
Hell yeah. You sound great. I'm so happy and proud of you that you skipped like the whole 2-camera generation of phones and also like the first notch. You went into like the perfect time right now. You skipped 2 cameras, so you're at 3, and you have the proper wide angle camera, not the broke boy one from the iPhone 11. You have the smaller notch at the top of the screen. You got 5G. Dude, you pretty much glowed up more than anyone I know.
And you know what, Eric? Much like my Subway sandwich order, that decision was strategic because I don't like to buy Apple's like prototypes, these like first versions of things they put into market. They're just seeding those to early adopters who are like, don't know how to spend their money to buy a janky feature. Me, I like to wait until an iPhone is released that has as little change as possible from the previous design, because that means they found something that works.
I love that. Much like the MacBooks, like when you go from the 20 MacBook Pro, if you skip all the way up to 2021 MacBook Pro and got the M1 chip, you never lost your HDMI input.
Exactly. It came full circle.
You had HDMI the entire time.
It never left, yeah.
Wow.
So it's a strategic move. I think it's like we're gonna honor Virgil for a moment. That's why I'm wearing my like off-campus shirt today. With the Virgil's 3% rule, notorious 3% rule. It's kind of my strategy for purchasing Apple products. If they only made it 3% better, I'm in.
I apply that to everything I do, Ty. As you know, my work at our day job is very much 3% different than when it was handed over to me. So I fully know what you're talking about. What about this phone is 3% different than your previous phone? Because
no, this is only
for
3%.
Listeners who don't know, you had an iPhone 7 before.
I did. I like to buy iPhones that are only like the prime number versions. I would have bought the 11 if I was true to that. But so there's a world of difference between the 1.3 and the 7. That's not the 3% I'm talking about. I'm talking about between the 12 from last year and this 13-incher right here.
Yes.
From the 12-incher to the 13-incher, there is almost notably no difference, and I like that.
I like that too. It does sit about an inch higher off the ground.
It has a really interesting wobble when I type on it, which is this is a masterclass in industrial design. I can't believe they designed a wobble into the phone. I don't know if you can hear that right now.
But
That's
we
what
can
happens
hear
when
it.
I type on this thing. It doesn't make any sense. Why would they build that?
I don't understand. I think they're leaning too hard into like accessory culture. Like I
Mm,
think they've given up on themselves a little bit and realized that 90% of iPhone users have a case. And so
hmm
therefore, why bother trying to make the phone bump non-existent when people are just gonna fill in the blanks themselves, you know?
I hate that because I've never been a case daddy. I always loved keep my iPhone raw,
Exactly.
natural, au natural.
Exactly. I would never give my iPhone the BBL that it asks for. Um,
hmm
but yeah, I don't think Steve Jobs would either. So that's why I
hmm
don't, why would you ruin a phone by putting a piece of leather or plastic on it? I don't
Yeah,
understand that.
I would never put a rubber on something this
Yeah.
beautiful.
But you know what?
Uh,
There's never been a better time to do it. But the thing that really bugs me when I ask people like people are always like shocked that I don't have a case on my $2,000 iPhone.
hmm
Um, and when I say like, why they have one, and they say it's like, oh, it's to protect it from scratches. But think about this, Ty. If you're protecting it from scratches, that doesn't really make any sense because you're just gonna like scratch the outside of the case.
hmm Yeah.
Like,
So
are,
what?
are you really gonna like make the case look gross? Like, why not just show the phone and make the phone look like used?
I
It's the same
know.
thing.
I think it's because people have this like perceived value in the device that 3 years from now they're gonna like get $100 more for it when they sell it on Facebook Marketplace. But
Hmm.
like that's not how it works. Your phone will get scratches on the case or the phone, and then eventually you'll drop it in the toilet or drop it so hard it cracks, and then it won't matter anyways. So
Exactly. Like if you drop it with the case on, it's still gonna shatter.
yeah, exactly. So why live your life so conservatively?
Hmm. And you have to
I
you
blame
live
helicopter parents.
helicopter parents. What do you mean?
They've taught us that we need to be more protective of our things that kind of look like babies. And this phone looks somewhere between Daft Punk's baby and the veggie patty from Subway.
It's the exact same
It's the
proportion.
exact same dimensions. Holy shit.
Can you remind me? Does the veggie patty at Subway, like, does it fit one patty on a 6 inch and then two for the footlong?
That is correct, Eric. You double up when you get the footlong version. So I'd imagine there's some tech dweeb out there, perhaps a listener of this podcast, that has made a iPhone sandwich. You get a little bit of the old headphone cords in there as like a little bit of a
Hmm.
texture.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Um,
Sprinkle some loose AirPods in there, like some black olives.
some Lucy's. So where do we go from here, Ty? What is the iPhone? What happens now? You know, do we like the iPhone still?
I don't know. Do we like? Well, this phone is. Let me tell you, Eric. This phone is fast as fuck. This is the fastest. I start typing and it knows what words I'm gonna do. I feel like I'm in a supercomputer. Like it's
That was
technically. I have no doubts it's technically advanced.
mhm. Absolutely. The screen is unbelievable, but I do kind of miss my iPhone 11. I miss the great days when
Mm-hmm.
like all the things that I actually care about haven't changed. Like the battery, is still really good on the iPhone 11.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I had the Face ID logging me
Mm-hmm.
in through several uh, high security screens that seems way too easy to log into at this point.
Mm-hmm. Way too
Um,
easy.
all the stuff that phone brought to me, I still have, and now I just have these other extra things I don't really care about. Um, but
Like
yeah.
like extra bumps and notches on your camera. That camera's so
Hmm.
freaking big.
I know. I
Yeah.
keep just
So
looking at it now that you point it out, and just kind of like I don't even know.
so
And
like
now that you mention it, this
yeah.
SIM card reader is like kind of bulging out a little bit. Mine's not going in all the
Oh,
way.
you might need to give that a little bit of a push. um, Interestingly enough, so I think most of the advances here, much like a good footlong sandwich, are happening inside the bread, like between the bread, the technology, right? We got some LiDAR
Hmm.
stuff, we got some cinematic stuff. So, but then at the same time, probably as a result of that, this is a very, very heavy piece of equipment.
Hmm.
So, is this the is this for gamers or for lifters? I'm not
Wow,
sure
that's a
who the
great question.
target market of this iPhone is.
I think the more Apple matures, the more it's skewing towards gamer. And I hate to admit it, but it's just like becoming an Android phone at this point. Like all the
Mm,
stuff that we actually care about, like having a battery that doesn't die and like the brightness, like just basic shit. All this stuff is like
mm-hmm.
we've kind of like left it where it is, and now we're doing shit like 5G. Like I don't need to download anything that fast.
Mm-hmm. We got lots of questions about permissions in every app. It really confuses me. Like the only
Hmm.
reason I'm using an iPhone at this point, Eric, is so that people don't think that I need to maybe borrow money.
That's a good point.
I
It's
don't
kind of
want to
like
give off
Subway.
the
Like,
impression that I'm like in debt, you know?
yeah, absolutely. It's kind of like Subway. It's like we've perfected the bread. We've perfected the cold cuts,
Mm-hmm.
the things that people care about, and now we're doing stupid things like inventing new types of bread, like wraps and whatnot. It's like let's
Mm-hmm.
just go
Mm-hmm.
back to like making the bread 1% better, and making the meats 1% better. I don't need to
Worth
have all these other random things that 1% of people care about.
Hey, I love that. Let's make it 3%, Eric. Let's make it 3% better.
I like that. That's challenging at this point. I don't know if you can improve the herbs and cheese. It's pretty damn perfect.
Yeah, I would like a little bit more cheese on that. Maybe a bit more herbs. They could double down
That's
on the
true.
amount of herbs.
They do want you leaving more though. Leave you wanting more.
It's true.
Um, I did catch a Subway ad on TV the other day when I was watching The Bachelorette, which is something I do. Um, it was like called like a grilled cheeser or something.
Okay.
It was like it looked like it was like came out of a panini press, and then the bread was like super toasted, and then
Whoa.
they put like a lot of cheese in there, so it looked like a Subway sandwich and a grilled cheese in one. And now
Wow.
I'm wondering that I'm thinking we should go back to Subway. Me and you, Ty. What say you?
I like this idea, Eric. I would like to put the cheese on the outside of the bread, like layer a slab of the yellow on the outside, and then put
Hmm.
it in the press. Um, if Subway like acknowledges that that's a thing, then we could have like a true Italian herb and cheese, and then you have your regular. We'll just call that the Italian herb and teas.
Oh, I love that. All press is good press, and
Hmm.
especially when you're talking about sandwiches.
That's a fact. So they're actually promoting a like grilled cheese experience on the menu.
Yes. Let me just pull this up for you real quick.
Okay, okay.
Um, oh, it's a cheddar griller. Oh, that's sad. I tried to go to the website, and what do you know? The website is currently down, so I can't look at it.
Of course it's down.
Of
Subway
course,
will
Subway
never
is
figure
down.
out their tech stack.
Hmm. Let's see here. Uh, oh, here we go.
Reinvent the grilled cheese. That's a tall order, Eric.
This is an article from May. This can't be it. Damn,
Eric's
I need to
currently on
abandon.
a cowboy website who's done
I
an
need to
article on
abandon
this.
this train of thought because I might have been hallucinating.
Well, let me pick up what you're talking about here. So there no doubt have are people dabbling in Subway's kind of grilled cheese world or like the act of like overly grilling an item. We've seen it on TikTok. We've seen kind of like these kind of like really carby or like fatty sandwiches being made.
Hmm.
I then also think about the recent addition to the menu, the crispy chicken sandwich, and I think like is Subway abandoning this health conscious kind of part of their brand? Because like crispy chicken to me doesn't scream like eat fresh or like low cal or any of
Mm,
that shit, you know? And neither does grilled cheese. It's almost like, yeah, this is now a treat yourself brand. This is a get
hmm.
fat brand.
Get fat, eat fat.
Eat fat, literally.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think it's just another, some more evidence that Subway's having an identity crisis, that
Hmm.
they maybe have some imposter syndrome. They are trying to steal people away from fast food giants. They've given into the natural hot chicken trend.
Hmm.
Um, and so therefore they said we need to compete. We gotta get some fried chicken on the menu. Like that's what people want, and they're not
Hmm.
wrong, Ty. I think that's definitely what people want.
So for the breadheads, Eric and I had a little run in this weekend. Isn't that right, Eric? A little
Oh, we did.
meeting of the minds.
Meeting of the minds. Yeah, we were both down sad, and we both happened to be in the area at the same time,
Hmm.
both hungry, which is rare. And you know, I messaged Ty, saw on the
Hmm.
Snapchat map that he was, within shouting distance. So I said,
You were getting
hey
pinged.
yo,
Yeah.
pull up to Subway. We here. We live at Subway. Come through. And so honorable Ty, lived up to his word. He pulled up. I wasn't expecting it. I'll be honest. I was expecting you to just skirt off, but Ty pulled up.
Yeah, dude. Well, I was on the whole other side of Gastown when you pinged, and I had to scramble through hordes of Christmas shoppers and bums to get to get over
Hmm.
there. But I wouldn't miss it. I wouldn't miss an opportunity to wine and dine on 12 inches of sandwich with you.
Hmm.
And
That's 12
that
inches
was pretty good.
cumulative.
12 inches cumulative. Yeah, I just got a cheeky 6 inch.
Yeah, I too got the 6 inch. I just finished the workout with Bay, so I had a smoothie and I had the crispy chicken 6 inch. I just had to try it. I was next to a Subway. I just had to do it.
Hmm.
And
So
let me just give you my breakdown
yeah,
of
I,
it.
I want to hear your hot take on this hot chicken sandwich. Like, what
Yeah.
what what did it taste like?
Well, I gotta say that day we're looking extra crispy. I was very, very impressed with this Subway location in
Mm,
particular. It must have been a high
yes,
traffic zone.
I must say, because I got in that lineup shortly after seeing your quite pale face, and um, when I perused the vegetable section of the Subway, uh, what I expected to be the most pale of all the vegetables, the tomato, I was pleasantly surprised with its rosy plumpness. It was juicy, they were thick cuts, a beautiful red. The
You make me
best
choke on this
tomatoes I think I
fucking
may have
tea, brother. Holy
ever
shit.
seen. I got double tomato that day.
Wow. I should have done the
But
same because I let Bay have a bite and none other than, the tomato slid out as she took a bite. And so we lost a half a tomato slice.
ooh,
It hit the table, it didn't hit the paper. So you already know that's a no-go for me.
mm-hmm.
Um, and also a jalapeno, which was quite sad.
That is sad.
But back to the chicken Thai.
Yeah.
I ordered the chicken, the crispy chicken. I got, the usual veggies, mayo and hot sauce, parmesan. Very good. Took a bite. I swear to you, in that moment, I thought I had found the perfect sandwich.
Wow.
I thought I had somehow uncovered the best Subway sandwich I've ever tried. And I was on cloud nine, dude. I was so happy. There's literally a video of me eating this, and it's so, so good. I'm gonna have to send it to you. It's
Yeah, you should have to share this video with me. He's on cloud
oh
nine
yeah.
inch.
Oh yeah. I was on cloud nine, dude. I was like my eyes were rolling back. I was like just really enjoying it. Uh I proceed to give Bay a bite, and then I think that in that time delay, everything went wrong, Ty.
Oh no. Did you
In the
find a rat in
time
your sandwich?
in the time that Bay had taken a bite and I had got my hands back on the sandwich, it had cooled down tremendously. And
Mm,
I think the sauce had seeped into the chicken. So
mm.
no longer was it a crispy chicken. It was just at that point just an oven roasted chicken sandwich. Um,
Maybe even a soggy chicken.
Maybe even a soggy chicken, that's right.
Right.
And it still tasted pretty good. But the chicken was not crispy, like literally two bites in. And then also I had like the gummiest piece of chicken I've ever had in my life.
Mm.
Like I think it was the second or third nugget in the sandwich. It really was not gonna be easy to bite down on. I had to like take it out and like actually yank it out of my mouth.
Right.
Like
A nasty
like I was eating
chew.
some jerky. Yeah, it was like I was
Yeah.
eating chicken jerky, dude. It was like real chewy. And yeah, it was basically just downhill. Like I went from like cloud nine to cloud two. And And yeah, it was okay at the end, but definitely not the best sandwich I've ever had.
Hmm. There's a lot here, Eric. That's first of all, I'm so sorry for that experience. But you should have expected your Subway experience to only get worse after the first bite. Like
As it does.
that is not atypical of a footlong or 6 inch for that matter. I am
Hmm.
surprised that it got cold so quickly because like you made the right call to not order a full footlong then because
Yeah, oh yeah.
it would have been like there would be frost on it by the time you got to the last bite.
I know. It would have been frostbite.
Yeah.
And why that is. I think the time to complete a sandwich, our normal 4 minutes here is actually much less for the crispy chicken.
Well, yeah, it probably is. My hypothesis that I could have predicted this for you because I think it's a simply a miracle, black magic, if you will, that Subway is able to offer a crispy anything on their menu with no deep fryer in their location. So that shit had to be crisped up off site.
You think so?
Well, where do you think the guy, your artist yesterday, was crisping that chicken? You think he freshly crisped that chicken like a few minutes before you walked
Hmm.
in?
That's a great question. I think they might have some sort of air fryer type of technology at the Subway because think
Mm.
about think about the bread oven. It's like basically an air fryer or like the
Mm-hmm.
toaster. Like it's possible that they had some frozen nuggets that they just put in there and crisp them up on flash.
Right. So they're using the bread retarder to crisp up the nugs.
Yeah. So they really
That's
went,
an interesting prediction. Yeah.
yeah, they went dumb on these nuggets, that's for sure. Um, think about it. Like
That's not
when you
happening
ever make,
live though. It's not happening live. That's happening prior to your arrival as a patron.
oh, okay, so they're crisping up the chicken. They're putting it in the at the line in a
Mm-hmm.
heated bucket, I presume.
Mm-hmm.
Cap off. You don't want it to steam in there.
No.
I mean, it doesn't add up. It should be somewhat crispy, in my opinion. It was
Mm.
okay. The first bite was good, and then everything else went downhill. I think the steam was like in the sandwich, and the steam like made it soggy like after like 5 seconds.
Right. Do you think you could engineer the sandwich differently to avoid this situation, this sandwichuation again?
Absolutely. The sandwichuation, no sandwichuation is without avoiding. So I think you could drill holes in the top of the bun,
Cool.
like air holes,
Air holes, yeah. Like a little
Yeah,
igloo.
exactly. The little chimneys at each every 2 inches, you get a little hole
Hmm.
in the top bun, and
Hmm.
just let the steam come out. And then you can play it like a clarinet.
Yeah. Uh, that's cool. It's a wind instrument, your foot long.
You could like much like the recorder in elementary school. You could just
Hmm.
sing a little tune before you dive into your sandwich.
I've always felt like when I take those first few bites of my foot long that I am role playing a member of a clarinet orchestra.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Or my favorite scene on Pornhub.
There you go. Yeah.
There you
That is
go.
Eric's favorite scene, probably.
Absolutely. Um,
Okay. Okay. That's not a
Speaking
bad
of all
idea.
that, okay, so let's quickly go over what your sandwich was.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Quick summary because I obviously had to order two while I was there. Before I
Yeah.
tell you that, I think you could have also solved the crispy chicken dilemma by just asking the sandwich artist to serve it to you open faced.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Then it's like
if
it
you get
never
a
left its nest.
yeah, if you get an open faced foot long, is that 24 inches?
Wow. Yeah. You double your meat. That would be kind of cool though, because you could ask them to serve like both the meat and the cheese on both sides of the bread, and then you kind of
Mm,
like top it up with the veggies. It'd almost be like nacho style with the veggies, where you have this like growing mountain. It's both a
yeah, I love
salad and a
that.
sandwich.
And then you can ask them to put the cheese on last and then toast it.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, we're gonna
Wow.
try this. Now we're
Ooh.
thinking outside the
Yeah.
bun.
We're thinking outside the bun always on this show. But you
Hmm.
did order the veggie patty, if I'm not mistaken, Ty. Is that correct?
So I took a gander at the veggie patty, and I ultimately decided that it was too big of a commitment in that moment. So I settled on a 6-inch veggie undelightful.
Ah, yes.
I
And
added some marinara sauce to it
oh my God.
because
God,
when you're when you're eating the veggie delight, Eric, you see there isn't much there to make you feel anything. You want to feel
oh,
something, so you stretch.
you gotta stretch, that's for sure. And I respect it. Um, but is it true that the so wait, does the marinara like are the meatballs soaking in the marinara?
No,
They're
I
separate.
asked this a long time ago because as a vegetarian, that would be quite the dilemma.
Rule break,
It would be, yeah. Uh, Father, I
but they're
have
separate.
sinned.
Yeah.
They are separate. For some reason, the meatballs do not simmer in the marinara sauce. I wonder if it's a similar problem they're trying to mitigate as to the crispy chicken, where you don't want the meatball to completely disintegrate in the bubbling, oozing marinara lava.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. I respect it. I respect it.
But yeah,
Um,
Veggie Delight, double tomato, sweet onion, Southwest.
mhm,
I plowed that thing down.
mhm. Okay, so we both had situations where, well, first of all, did your LP order anything?
We went bite for bite on mine.
Okay, great. This leads perfectly into my next question. So, Ty, I want to talk to you about trying your homie's sub.
Okay,
What
hit me.
what is the proper etiquette for like, trying your friend's sub or sharing bite for bite with your bae? What is the proper etiquette? Are you like holding the sandwich for them while they take a bite? Or are you like passing the sandwich off like a baby, like a food baby?
Mm, okay. Are we talking pre or post pandemic times? Or is this like kind of there's no correlation to time, just evergreen lettuce?
Evergreen. This is in a vacuum. This is inside of a let's just say that.
Okay, cool. This is in the Dyson vacuum reality where the novel coronavirus never left the wet market. We're
Yeah,
in a wet market reality, but not
yeah,
that one.
exactly. We're in a reality where wet market is normal and you know, we are the wet market. It doesn't matter.
Okay, I think I'm on the same wavelength as you.
Yeah.
How
What I'm
I
saying is we're
would
immune, Ty.
superhuman super spreaders.
Hmm.
Okay, so to answer your question, how do you do the handoff? You want your homie to try a bite of your footlong because
Hmm.
you're a nice guy. They want a bite, you want to give them a bite. You need to
Hmm.
get that bite in their mouth. I'm
Hmm.
not going to do any of that. Here comes the airplane bullshit. I am trying to get that from palm to palm. My sub needs to
Hmm.
get in your hand, and I'm going to let you then bite however style you like because everyone's
Hmm.
bite's a little different.
Hmm.
Now, the question is, how do I pass that? Right?
Okay.
I like the slap. So that's kind of where you like come in, like you see the like basketball players after they net a 3-pointer, they kind of just do a loose slap with their fingers,
Hmm.
like a little tingle. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to something really gestural like that because what it does is you don't want to squeeze anything too tight. You don't want to compromise the structural integrity of the sandwich, and you don't want to spend too long with your hand and your homie's hand embraced.
Okay. So wait, are you talking about dapping them up after the bite? Or do you mean like slapping them with the sandwich?
I'm slapping them with my sandwich. Slap it into them. They take it.
Oh.
They do their thing, and they slap it back.
Oh, I see. So it's like a little toss. It's almost like a lateral, like in
A
football.
handoff. Yeah, yeah. In a perfect world, you actually at no point are both of you touching the sandwich at the same time.
Hmm. So if you're holding it 6 inches, maybe you're gripping at the bottom and at the top, and then your
Mm-hmm.
homie grabs it right in the middle.
Mm-hmm. I think that's probably the move because you don't want to go
Hmm.
like grab like tip to tip like a baton because the sandwich does isn't strong enough to hold up. You know, it'll
That's true.
sag like a
It'll
fluky
sag, yeah.
spaghetti noodle.
Yeah, exactly. I would say I'm not at all the same. I would
What do you
just hold.
mean?
I don't what do you mean? I would never let somebody grip my sandwich. You know, the sandwich is mine to hold forever. And for the its existence, it's mine to hold. But I will, go one step further and I will even like curate a nice bite for them. Like I'll chew
Mm,
around the sandwich a little bit so there's a nice little peninsula for them to bite down on.
you're a
And then
curator.
I'll even like angle it for them. I'll be like, "Oh, that looks like a good bite for you," and I'll like position it so
Wow.
like they get the best bite of the sandwich.
And you
And
try to shove that right in their mouth like a dentist.
absolutely. And then while their like teeth are sinking into it, I'll ask them like if they've been flossing.
Yeah, you're the kind of guy that needs a little bit of self-validation too. So you might be like, "Oh yeah, you like that?"
It's like, is this good for you?
Mhm.
hmm Wow, I hate how you
Interesting.
pinpointed me, Ty. It's simply incredible.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, that's what I'll do. And then while they're chewing, I'll like pull it, like I'll help them by like pulling it off of their mouth.
Right.
And then while they're chewing, I'll be like, mm? And then and then they just nod and go, mm.
Yeah. I love that. I love that you help with the tear. All your homies have weak teeth.
All my homies got root canals, so I have to,
Yeah.
help them out with that.
Yeah, we don't
I can
brush here.
relate. Absolutely. Well, I'm glad we could clear
Wow.
that up. So I know, in some regards, I understand Ty's love language now. So when Ty gives me a sandwich, I know that he's not trying to say anything, with that. He's just, giving me a bite. And
Hmm.
vice versa. If I don't give you my sandwich, you know that that's just how I operate. So this is great.
Yeah,
I feel like we're closer now, Ty.
me as well. I will say though, after thinking a little bit more about the strategy I would employ here, Eric, I don't think
Hmm
it's as much of a slap for me as much as it is a crane game. I actually want you to touch my sandwich with as few fingers as possible. So I would like my homie to put their hand in like a claw-like formation when they grab it, so that
Oh,
you're kind of managing it with just the tips of your fingers.
right.
Because
So you
like
minimize the surface area that's touching the sandwich.
for sure, exactly. So like knees
Hmm
weak, palms are sweaty. You don't want those palms, sweaty palms on my Italian herb and cheese.
Absolutely. It's soggy
My
enough
my
as
my
is.
sandwich is not your towel.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Um, would you ever like wrap it back up? Like just put it down back in the paper or give it a wrap and then like give it to your partner condomed up?
Oh wow, like regifting.
Yeah, regifting. Putting back the condom on.
I think like it depends on where you are in the sandwich. If your first couple bites, it might be just simply too girthy for a raw handoff.
hmm
Likewise, if you over sauced it, like I do frequently, it might
hmm
be too messy for a raw handoff.
Absolutely. Sometimes, you're holding on for dear life. Like if I move my hand, there's gonna be a meatball flying out of here real quick.
Yeah, you don't want to peg Joe over at the next table with your meatball.
Yeah, exactly. And if we both know if Les flies out, it's a conversation we're having later. Like I might have to make some call on our
Yeah,
relationship.
yeah, you don't want to lose any of those good veggies, especially the
Absolutely.
jalapenos or those juicy tom toms.
Absolutely, Ty. Wow, I'm glad
Wow,
we could clear that up.
yeah, I learned a lot about you today.
120 episodes in and we're still learning about each other. That's pretty amazing.
Really discovering and uncovering each other's preferences.
Hmm Hey, I want to tell you about my weekend after our little encounter at Subway.
Okay, what
Yeah.
happened?
So so I did in fact go to the art gallery. Much like I had mentioned in the moment, I did go to the art gallery and I saw this um exhibit. It was by Yoko Ono. Quite
Mm,
cool. And there was a lot of like interactive art elements in this exhibit. And it made me realize that, you know, the freshest scam in art now is to like make you do the art. Like you're the artist. And
Right.
not only that, but it just had me thinking back to Subway. Like, at Subway, I'm making my sandwich, and then I'm going to the art gallery, I'm making my art. It's like
Hmm.
when do I get a break here, guys? I've been doing everything.
So
Um,
great analogy, first of all. What
mhm.
type of like user generated art is Yoko Ono scamming us into? Like, give me an example.
So okay, so in the first room there were like three or four or five like interactive things you could do. One of them was like there was like a phone, like just sitting there like an iPhone,
Hmm.
and you're supposed to answer it if it rings. It never
Mm,
rang for me. Another one was there's like a blank canvas hanging on the wall with like a box of nails beside it and a hammer,
mm,
and then you can like take one of the nails and like hammer it into the canvas, and
mm.
so you're like now a part of this art here.
Right. So
Um,
for that one, you got to role play construction worker after your visit to Subway.
exactly. So, I felt inadequate at Subway. I felt like I didn't belong, but then, sure enough, I got in. I got my frontline worker fix shortly after.
Thanks, Yoko.
Yeah, thank you so much. Um, and then what else? There was another room where you could like write on a post-it note and then like put it on the wall. It was like the
Mm,
most lazy like form of art I've ever seen in my life.
for
It's
sure, because
literally just
you're
a
the
post-it
artist.
notepad. Like there's nothing there. It was just like a
Mhm.
post-it notepad and an empty room. I'm like, this is literally my office. like
Yeah.
like I feel like I'm at work.
So you got scammed by the Vancouver Art Gallery a little
I
bit.
did get scammed. It was free admission, thank God, but you know, scammed my time for sure.
Yeah, and you're right though, but like it's a very similar there's a parallel here with Subway because you enter an establishment expecting to consume art and you accidentally end up creating the art.
Yeah, I feel like it was being played. Like I'm the one, you're the art now.
Hmm.
It's one big experiment, kind of like the novel coronavirus.
For sure. Now, most of the time at art galleries, you have to pay a cover charge to enter, an admission, if you will. But
hmm
at Subway, you're buying a product. Do you think Subway
hmm
could benefit from the okay, actually, all creative ventures typically have a cover charge of some sort, whether it's a gallery, like
hmm
appreciating the art of music at a concert. Um, I'm sure there's others. A night at the theater, a
hmm
movie. You always
hmm
pay a surcharge up front to access the art, but at
hmm
Subway, you don't. You pay at the end. Do you think Subway
hmm
could benefit from ditching the cost of the sandwich and adding a cover charge?
mm. I think it would definitely make me more likely to tip because
Mm-hmm.
tipping while you're already paying is a lot. But if you're just like paying the entrance and then you like go through the motions, you're like, all right, like the sandwich art is nice. He recommended the meatball for me. Uh, then I'm more likely to tip at the end because I'm just like I'm either paying or I'm not paying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I've already paid up front, so that's done. And now I can decide if I want to give him extra couple bucks.
Yeah, that's true. You kind of eliminated the transactional side of things. The um,
hmm
feels a lot more like now. I don't know, just like more luxury, I guess, even because
Yeah, yeah,
you don't have to
exactly.
think about that.
Yeah, you get less people, being indecisive
Mm-hmm.
in the line if you have to charge for entrance. Like, if I don't know what I'm getting, I'm not gonna walk in. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I think this would be good for the Subway brand because we there is no the only restaurants that are follow this kind of form. There's no restaurants that really follow that format of you pay at the door just to get in, like maybe an all you can eat buffet.
hmm Yes. You know, these places wouldn't feel like a scam if they just told you, or like if
Mm,
they like, gave you credit at the end, or even like a high five, something.
something.
Like, like if I was to like finish ordering my sandwich and then they said like wow, like great sandwich, like great creation, chef, and just like
Mm,
gas me up at the end, like I would probably give them like $10 on tip. You know what I
mm.
mean?
For sure. I'm looking for that all the time. Like I am the artist here. I
Yeah.
deserve credit first. Like I want them, you know how they put the little Subway sticker on your footlong? It's a little circle logo, like the S mark, just to
Oh
seal
yeah.
that boy up in its little paper sack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like how
yeah,
they ship it off.
yeah. I'd like that to actually just look like a little artist statement plaque, like you would see at a gallery, and it says Chef Eric, uh, sweet onion sauce on Italian herb and cheese 2021. You know, just like a little medium, year, and
Mm-hmm.
artist, and you can take that home and remember that you created art today.
Mm-hmm. It would give you a reason to keep it. Like you could peel that sticker right off and put it on your MacBook Pro M1.
For sure, because there's sauce on that too.
Absolutely. And yeah, it reminds me of this like pizza place called Assembly. I don't know if it's still
Hmm.
around or not, but you could order on like DoorDash or something, and basically you would design like your entire pizza, and then when the pizza came, it had a sticker that said like compliments to the chef and had your name on it, and that was like
Beautiful.
the best thing ever. It's like thank you for acknowledging the fact that I made this amazing pizza.
Hmm. There's definitely like a validation aspect, but also
Hmm.
these types of interventions make your meal non-fungible. So that means that
Exactly.
like you could actually like, be like, oh man, I just copped a Chef Eric pizza. You know,
Hmm.
like that was I got one of his pizzas because they only print that for you. They're not going to print Chef
Hmm.
Eric for me.
Hmm.
So if I want your
And the,
pizza, I got to go through you.
yeah, and in the age of artist and food collaborations, I think Subway could like lean into it. It's like we don't want it, we don't want the Bieber sandwich. We want the Thai sandwich, and
Mm-hmm.
then it'll say like on the little sticker like Thai by Subway. You know what I mean? Like
I
that's the
love that.
artist collab right there. We don't want like the Bella Hadid sandwich. We want the
No,
Eric sandwich.
yeah, I want my friends' sandwiches. And
Exactly.
like, I would love if they would officially support something like this. Right now, we're going through more like black market sandwich resellers. Like, if you
Yeah.
want the Thai sandwich, you got to come through me.
Hmm.
Third party sellers.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. There's got to be like a leaderboard or something for this.
Most
Like,
ordered, best rated.
hmm most times ordered. It's like, has this combination ever been like, I want to know.
Mm,
And if
I love
so, how
that.
many times?
Like, how many inches have been eaten of this combination?
Yeah. And then it'll like, and there's a threshold. It's like, are you a basic bitch or are you like a real curator, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Tastemaker, if you will.
Tastemaker. Perfect double entendre there.
Love that.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Strong thoughts, King.
Absolutely. And on that bombshell, I think we should call it. Anything else you want to talk about today, Ty?
I think that's everything. I really
Hmm.
enjoyed thinking fresh with you today, Eric.
Likewise.
Um, Breadheads, you can follow us on Instagram. We are actively promoting our podcast there. You can also hit us up on Twitter or OnlyFans if you wish. Send us a
Hmm.
DM. Ask us what you want to hear. Who do you want to see on this podcast? We got guests in the lineup.
Hmm. Absolutely. Support the pod. Buy us a footlong by, sign up to our OnlyFans.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, $5, baby.
If you don't want to see Eric's nipples, you can Venmo to us. That's fine, or send us some crypto instead.
Hmm. I promise if you squint, they look like pepperoni slices.
uh,
Okay, bye, Ty. Ciao. Talk to you later.
Ciao.